Guess what we talking about today? Love. True love. We have been married. This is my wife, Gail, if y'all didn't know.
I'm the quiet one.
She's my first wife, my only wife, and we have been married how long?
37 years.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Dang, son, you know what that means. Woo.
We're old.
She's getting old. She looks pretty young, doesn't she? I married young. That's what it was.
We're out of the cradle. That's what happened.
I did. I look back on it now and who I was then, which I was like a mountain man back then. And she was a little 18-year-old that I met. And I was a little older. And I feel sorry for her folks now. Because it's like, who is this hairy Taliban-looking guy coming in here? Dating my little 18-year-old. Why don't you tell them how we met?
I was a freshman in college. Just got to campus and it was all-girls school. About the only one left in the nation. And some girls said, hey, do you want to go to Bible study? I said, sure. It's a hayride tonight. Sure, let's go. So we piled in the car and headed to the farm, to Selma. And this good-looking guy was in charge of the hayride. So
that was back then.
So I saw him. He didn't see me that night, but I saw him. And so the next Friday night, he saw me. And the rest is history. It was pretty much love at first sight.
It was?
It was, for me.
Because I had hair. And I was losing it fast, so I had to snag up somebody that didn't realize what was happening and and get them quick.
So the next dating story.
Hey man, this
involving heights.
This is about falling in love.
Danger and heights and falling in love. Yeah.
So she had never been out of the city. I had never been out of the country, and that's all I knew. And we had a lot of country life. And so with the hogs, we had this 75-foot grain elevator. And it's a beautiful view. Now, it's hard to get up there, or it just took a lot of effort. But once you get up there, I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful view. And you were what, about 18, 19, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we get up there and we're looking around, and we had this, we had a lot of cats. I mean, a lot of cats. And
not mice.
Well, not once we got the cats.
No.
We had a lot of rats before we got the cats.
Those are some really good stories, but they're before my time.
So
not for Valentine's Day.
So anyway, we had this one cat that I didn't like for some reason. And he's kind of a sissy cat. Well, I look up and here he comes walking across from the left. And
we're 75 feet in the air.
Yeah, we're 75 feet in the air, which, that's a long way. When you look down, you see a little speck of a cat. Okay. And I said, being the romantic that I am, I said, think I can spit on that cat's head?
I said, no. No way.
I was going to impress her with my spitting ability. So here comes the cat just peacefully walking along in just cat oblivion, And the wind was blowing. That's what makes this so good to me now. And I've told y'all before, everybody likes to shoot something, throw something, hit something. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so the wind was blowing, so I aimed, so to speak, like, gosh, I don't know, 20, 30 feet behind this cat. And I let it rip.
You did.
I wished I had a video because it'd be viral because it was so perfect. It curved,
You can see this now.
You could see all this, yeah. And it's going. Boom! Hits the cat dead on the head. The cat does a complete flip.
Right between the ears. I mean, no idea what hit him.
Out of nowhere. And, messing with the cat's always fun. But, boy, when you call it, so that was, and that's probably what did it, wasn't it?
That was it.
That sealed
I had
the
to
deal.
have this man. We're not getting away.
Any man can spit like that. I don't know if you know this, but when you jump a rabbit, the rabbit's going to make a circle. Okay? And so my dog, which was a very, very, very fast lab, took off after this rabbit out through the woods, and you could see him running. And we're just standing at the same place we jumped it. And so the rabbit, you see him make this huge circle, and the rabbit comes back and is coming straight at us, okay? Because we're standing where we jumped him. And the rabbit goes screaming by, right?
Mm-hmm. Right in front of us.
Like right over our toes almost. The dog comes screaming by. They run into these bushes about 20 yards away, and she catches the rabbit. And all this screaming and hollering's going on. Of course, she's a city girl, and I'm
Never
thinking,
seen anything like this before.
uh-oh.
The rabbit screams like a girl.
Yeah, so she brings the rabbit back. And, of course, I'm just proud like a daddy. I mean, like, whoa. And this was a cane cutter. You know what a cane cutter is. You do now.
I do now.
A cane cutter is like a monster rabbit. Okay, so she brings this rabbit back, and I'm just so proud. And she brings it right to me, and I get the rabbit, and I'm holding the rabbit up like this, showing her, look at the rabbit, and the rabbit's just all this stuff, And all of a sudden, the rabbit just dies right there. Right there. I'm like, the rabbit just died. And then I realized that something warm is hitting me. And I realized, too, that fleas are coming off this rabbit by the millions.
They are abandoning ship.
I mean, like instant.
Rabbit died.
And so the fleas are coming off, and the rabbit has peed all down my leg on this nice romantic date.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was, and she stayed with me.
And I love him anyway. Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Let them pee on your legs, son. You get them quick.
Just be yourself. Be real.
We used to have a three-wheeler. This was back before all the safety, this and that, and four-wheelers and what have you. So we had a three-wheeler, and of course we used it back then to round up cows. That's how we got up cows. So it was pretty good with the cows. Well, I took her out riding one cold day.
It was cold.
It was cold.
I forgot about this.
You remember the cold day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we come up to a water feature.
A big ditch.
Yeah, kind of a big ditch, but normally the ditch is passable. And I thought, well, maybe we can make this. So we head out across the ditch.
Full speed.
The water. Full speed?
Nah. We're going across. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We sunk like a rock.
We were in the ditch up to our necks.
In the freezing cold, it drowned out my four-wheeler, and we're way away from three-wheeler, and we're way away from everywhere. And so it's either walk or get it running again. So fortunately, I had a little toolkit that comes with it, and got the water out of the pistons and cranked it back up and got it home. But once again,
Y'all, these things are coming back to me now.
Uh-huh.
The 40-foot deer stand.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
It doesn't get as cold as it used to. What was the temperature that night?
So
20.
So I had this special place, okay? And I had a pine tree on one side of the field and a pine tree on the other side of the field. So I took her out before season. Now, remember, she's a city girl, okay? I took her out just before season. It was a beautiful day, okay? And I really, to this day, I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like it. Deer started coming out. There was probably about 40 deer on a 5-acre field. Mm-hmm. And just all these giant bucks, just happy. I mean, it was like going to the zoo. And she's like, well, there's nothing much to this deer hunting stuff, is it? It's just get up in the tree and shoot the deer. Which I've never seen that since. Never seen anything like that with a gun, for sure. Because I'm telling you, there's wall hangers everywhere. But then on my other tree, when the wind was blowing the other way, I would get up in it. And it was a old growth, giant pine tree. And the first limb was probably 40 foot up.
40?
The first limb.
Spikes. Yeah, we
the
had
first limb. So I had nailed spikes in the tree so you could climb up. And this tree was just huge. So the spikes weren't on the side. They were kind of in the middle because you couldn't have reached them on the side. So I decided to take her hunting one day, and it was cold. I didn't think this through, okay? So she had on...
I didn't know any better.
Yeah, she hates cold to this day. But I think she had on some kind of like old black rubber boots or something that's freezing cold, and we start climbing up this 40-foot tree, and I just didn't think this through, but so she climbs up there, and it was an acrobatic feat to get from the spikes to the limb, first limb. And once you got to the first limb, then you went on up another 20 feet.
To sit on a limb.
To sit on a limb. I mean, this was not a stand. This was a tree. And so we got up there, and she's finally just like, I am freezing to death.
Got to go, and I could not feel my feet.
And it was about that time, once I realized she really, truly couldn't feel her feet, we got a problem. And so that was actually a little scary coming down that tree.
We made it. We made it.
We made it.
To the Lord belong escapes from death.
There you go, and that was one of them.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm.
So, is this romance?
It is. You're a character.
Well, we've had a lot of good years together. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be together till we go.
Got a lot more to go for you.
You know, marriage, I mean, getting along with anybody can be difficult. But marriage in itself, as far as getting to be old married people like we are, it's not that complicated.
And it sure is good.
It's so much better than all the drama and stuff we see people go through when they start cheating on their spouse and going all over different directions and splitting up families and all that mess, you know. But guys, it's really, really simple. Okay? You make a vow when you get married, for better or for worse, till death do us part. All you gotta do is remain true to that vow. And when you have difficult times, which everybody does in relationships, you work through that, you don't leave.
That's the constant.
Yeah.
Banker.
So if you've got
work
that,
it out, yeah.
You work it out. You know, you don't run off and leave, you know. And if both of you are committed to that, you're going to be married a long time.
Oops.
That's the product of our family, probably, of our union, which is kids bothering you all the time.
That'll be Anna. Yeah.